Hi, I'm Ashley.
And I'm Joey.
And we're Mom and Pop Real Estate Investor Team, right here in Northwest Georgia.
This showminar
A reality show mixed with a seminar.
is dedicated to bridging the gap between what you see on TV and what you'll probably experience in real life. We plan to show you not only how we found the deals, but how we creatively funded them, and then show you the real numbers associated with each.
And when we get through, you'll know.
What's the deal?
Smells like mildew in here. We've got some water trouble.
So be careful, there's a hole
The floor's
in the
caving in.
The floor's caving in.
The ceiling's coming down.
The sky is falling, the sky is falling. Look at it with possibilities.
All right. Can we bust this out right here? Make it a little more open. Oh, I'll open this room up a little bit more.
I'm not sure, okay? So, that thing right there, I don't know what that is. That's different. And so...
That may have used to have been a hallway and they had to put that supporting beam there.
Okay, well if that's the case, then there's a high likelihood that this right there
Can't come down.
can't come down.
But we could at least put like a little pillar there or something. You know, it wouldn't look so
Closed up?
closed up. Let's go look around.
All right, so we got a bedroom in here.
Okay.
A little odd of a...
It's a strange layout. This is the biggest room.
Yeah, that's the biggest room. Be positive, okay? Optimistic. Okay, so it is a good bedroom. All right, we got something going on right here.
Bust all these walls out.
Bust them all out.
Bust all these.
Nothing but shiplap, right? Now, notice that I said this was a bedroom, right?
Yeah.
There's something missing.
Oh man, there's not a closet.
There's no closet in here.
Shit.
All right, so that's not to worry. All right, so I've got an idea on what we can do with that. So as you're about to see, the bathroom, it's odd, but we've got a lot of space in there. So what I'm thinking is, on the other side of this wall is the bathroom. We can take and put us a hole right there and encroach on the space on the other side of this wall, make us a closet for this bedroom.
Okay.
You want to see it?
Yeah.
All right, let's go up. Now let's check out this bathroom.
All right.
Okay, so far
It's huge.
This is an odd floor plan. They've got an odd bathroom. I guess that should be the name of the house, right? The odd one.
The odd one.
I like
it's laid
that.
out. It's laid out odd.
It's an odd bathroom. I mean, flat out, it's an odd bathroom. The way the house sits right now, it's a 2-bedroom, maybe a 3-bedroom, but it's only got 1 bath.
Okay.
And so that's something that we need to be thinking about as we're figuring out what we're gonna do. All right, so what I was talking about earlier is we can come through the wall right there.
We can do that.
Totally.
Closet will fit there.
Closet will fit there. Other things that are weird. Check out that vanity.
Yeah.
So the vanity comes over and is on the window. Look how far away the toilet is. I mean, why did they do that this way?
I don't know.
All right. Shower looks to be in decent shape. Put your foot out right there. I mean, just test them. Right there. Dun, dun, dun.
Okay.
Why they did what they did, I don't know. We've got mildew, we've got laminate, we've got something I don't even know what it is, and we've got multiple layers of subfloor. So we've definitely got to fix the subfloor right here so that nobody falls through that. But why they did this, no idea.
Okay. Tiny.
Remember how I told you this was a 2, possibly 3rd-bedroom house? This is the area I was talking about.
Okay.
It's the odd one. I don't know what you do with the space because legitimately there's no closet.
No way to make a closet.
There's not even a door. Right? So
even a
it's
door.
a passageway. So what do you do with the space?
Office. It's got to be office space.
We've got options, okay? And here's what's up. Do you remember how we were looking at the beam in there and how it was going across? Well, we got one right there. And also notice we got paneling everywhere.
We can just take that wall out if we wanted to and make a bigger living room.
This is totally superficial, so yeah, we could do that. This is not here. This was added for whatever reason they added it for.
Okay.
So what we have to decide is, do we want an office or do we want a bigger living room? And granted, remember, that's only that wide, so is that a good thing or not? And this could not just be an office, you know, you need some spots away from the TV just for whatever you're doing, you know. So this could also be a play area.
A play area, a
Have
schoolroom.
Schoolroom, it could be all kinds of different things. So this wall may be a good thing, but by the same token, if it gives us some more openness to the area, maybe that too.
Okay.
Okay? And we finally got a sure enough,
So
you
weird.
bet you, bedroom. We've got closet.
A closet.
We've got
Built-ins.
If you got it, flaunt it, I guess is the term. I don't know.
Okay.
So, like you said, odd. All right, here's something else. Check out the ceiling.
Ceiling, yeah.
Yep.
The ceiling's higher in this room, it feels like.
Uh-huh.
They're coming down. Why is that?
All right, so back to the odd thing. They didn't use any kind of ceiling board for this. It's not drywall.
Is it the
It's paneling, dude.
paneling?
They took paneling and put it up here, and then they put texture on it. So not only did that start weighing down the paneling, you'll see like over there, it started making the veneer come loose. So we've got to redo the entire ceiling in here.
Okay.
So, what do you think about this kitchen?
Man,
You got to use the catchphrase.
it's odd.
It's odd. So, everything about this is odd. We got low cabinets. We've got appliances that aren't really,
Just kind of.
I mean, check out this countertop. That countertop is like sloping downhill. Do you see how it's rotted that out over there?
Yep.
Be careful, man, it might fall through. So we got to figure out something to do in here. All right, the other thing that's an obstacle in here is we don't really have a defined dining area. Okay, so I think, you know, we got a chandelier type deal, so they were planning on this being like a dinette area, something along those lines, but what are we gonna do? Because you really don't have any room now.
Maybe we can put the stove right here. Wonder if a fridge would go against that wall and this little space right here be for a table.
Oh, that may work very well, because I mean, this thing right here, that's not really even a cabinet, that's just a thing.
Okay.
And so we got white appliances, can we just keep the appliances? I mean, fridge is working. I hear it running, do I dare open it? You dare me do it?
I dare you.
Okay, it does have mildew in it, but there's nothing rotten inside of it. I can't believe you dared me to do that. We've seen some nasty things, haven't we?
Well, there's something. Yes. Oh my gosh.
We can use that space over there as a pantry area.
That's a huge pantry. That's really going to be a seller. I love a big pantry.
Yeah, that'll be great. Okay, here's a good teachable moment. Whenever you're going to decide whether or not you want to keep a property as a rental property, there's some things that you should consider. So Ashley, what are some of the things that we think about whenever we're trying to decide whether we want to flip a property or keep a property?
Well, we kind of look around at the neighborhood. So it's a cute, established, older neighborhood, and we've got great neighbors around us.
That's very important. We want a good community to be able to have people in. If you don't have a good community, what'll happen for a rental property in particular is you will have a tremendous amount of turnover, and turnover kills you. I mean,
Yes.
flat out kills you. If somebody's not staying in the property, paying you rent, you might as well not have it at all. What else do we look for?
Low maintenance. So this house has a tin roof and vinyl siding. That's something that we're probably not going to have to replace ever, hopefully.
So that means those are big expenses that we don't have to take into consideration. So we won't have to put any shingles on this house.
Mm-mm.
More than likely, it's not going to blow off. And then we don't have to paint the siding ever. All we got to do is pressure wash it occasionally. Those are things that you want to consider whenever looking at a rental property, because those will increase your expense factor or decrease your expense factor. So what is an expense factor? An expense factor is an amount of money that you set aside each month to pay for the things that you're not expecting on a property. Those things include taxes, they include insurance, vacancies, and repairs. So you take about 35% of your net rents, put that aside, and then whenever you have to pay those bills, you've got it sitting there. That's an expense factor. Okay, so this house is low maintenance.
Mm-hmm.
It's in a good area. We're in the north part of Whitfield County.
Established neighborhood.
And we've got good neighbors.
All right, so what's our exit strategy going to be here?
We either got to flip it or we got to hold it. All right, and so if we're going to flip it,
It's gonna take a lot of work.
It's gonna take a lot of work, it's gonna take a lot of
And
money.
it'd be really expensive, yeah.
This is an odd house. It's not a very big house. We got about 1,000 square feet here. We don't really truly have even 2 bedrooms right now. So we got to make a second bedroom in order just to have a 2-bedroom, 1-bath house.
Right.
And so all that sounds like not really good. This is a great area though. It's a good house. It's out in the country. Matter of fact, we just heard goats out in the background. So,
It's a great yard.
Great yard. It's good to it's close to really good school. So all those things are advantageous. So it could be flipped. I just don't think the guy's asking $40,000 for the house, and in its condition with all the stuff going on. What do you think?
No.
No, I think we could offer about half that.
Yeah.
And so I don't see this being a good flip.
I don't either. I think we should hold it.
Well, something that would help us out with that I didn't tell you about is the guy told me that he's interested in doing seller financing.
Sweet.
So he's willing to take payments over time instead of us giving him all cash at the beginning.
Sweet.
So what I was thinking is we could make him a seller financing offer that allows us to be able to pay for the house with rents and then be able to make some money on top of that.
I like that.
Would this be a good rental?
Yes.
It is a cute house on the outside. I mean, like, we got to pressure wash and do a couple little things, fix the gutters, but the outside of this house is great. We can turn it into a 2-bedroom, 1-bath house on the inside and
Rent it.
I mean, this thing would rent great for $650, $700 a month.
Or more. I don't know what the rents are doing here.
Yeah, we'll have to check on that, but I guarantee you we can get that out of it. So let's go make the guy the offer, see what he says, and we'll roll with it like that.
All right.
Good with it?
Let's do it.
Boom. So here's a great teachable moment. Anytime seller financing is available, it opens up a world of opportunities. You can do all kinds of different things when you're dealing with people, because now, instead of dealing with going and getting institutional financing where they have, strict rules and guidelines, they can only say yes to a specific thing, you can do all kinds of things.
For instance, with the Hammond house,
Oh, that's a good one.
the seller offered for us to not to have to pay them until after we'd sold the house. And that, like Joey said, opened up a huge opportunity for us there. But how's
So
that
when
going to
we
work
flip-
here?
So when we flipped that house, we didn't have to pay them anything up front, and then we paid them off once we sold the house.
Right.
Yeah, that was really good.
It was awesome.
Yeah. But you're right, this won't work on that house because we only had like a short term on that. We're going to have to turn this one into a long-term note.
Right.
So we will have to offer the seller on this some sort of payments over time in order to pay for the entire house. So if he's wanting $40,000, maybe we give him $40,000, but it takes us 12 years to pay it.
Right.
Okay? We can get a great interest rate. We can get great terms, so we'll know what our monthly payment's going to be and be able to positive cash flow on this house, because as we know, cash flow is,
King.
that's right, cash flow is king. So if we can turn this into a positive cash flow house, this will be a perfect rental, won't it?
Perfect.
I love it. Great teachable moment.
Let's look at this a little bit closer. Let's see how much damage is there.
Well, I mean, you can see there's a little bit, whoa. There's a little bit of damage. Whoa.
Oh, no.
I'm gonna get down on my knees just in case. Whoa.
Yeah.
Dude, I didn't realize this was this bad.
It's all rot from the ceiling, you think that?
I mean, that's a high likelihood. I don't know what else would have caused that. And the framing looks like it's in good shape, but I mean, like, the subfloor, it's jacked, man. It's spongy all the way back here. Is what it is, though. We'll get that taken care of, get some good subfloor down instead of that particle board stuff, and we'll rock and roll with it. Stephen Covey wrote a book called The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. And one of those habits is begin with the end in mind. In real estate, that is paramount. Whether you're flipping a property or whether you're renting a property, you have to begin with the end in mind. So for a rent property, that means you have to find out what your rents are going to be. For a flip property, that means you have to find out what it's going to sell for. Then you subtract everything out and find out if the property will pay for itself and make a profit. So this is going to be a rental property. What we have to find out is how much will the house rent for? We believe this house is going to rent for around $700 a month. The next thing that we have to do is we have to take out an expense factor. What an expense factor is all the costs associated with owning a property each month and each year. Those include taxes, those include insurance, those include vacancies, because sometimes the house goes vacant. You need to have money sitting aside to pay for that if the house does go vacant. You also need to take into consideration repairs. So when the little things around the house, or sometimes the big things like ACs or water heaters, things to that nature, go bad, you need to have the money sitting aside to be able to pay for that. So the way that you begin with the end in mind on a rental property is you take the rents, you subtract your expense factor. In our area, our expense factor is about 35%. Next thing you need to do is you need to pay yourself. You don't need to work for free. So the way you do that is you come up with an acceptable amount that you want to get paid each month. For us, that's $200. So we take rents minus our expense factor, 35%, minus $200, and what's left over is the amount we can pay for a mortgage and allow for this property to pay for itself. On this house, we got great owner financing on it, and it's going to work out beautifully. And that's how you begin with the end in mind on a rental property. Anytime you buy a property and you go to rehab it, you have to begin with the end in mind. Depending on what kind of deal it is, depends on what you do. So for instance, if it's a flip, you've got a different set of circumstances and a different way of doing things. This house, on the other hand, is a rental property. So to begin with the end in mind, we have to think about what our cash flow is going to be. So our cash flow in this house is probably going to be about $200 a month, which means every $200 we spend means another month before we actually receive a profit. So with that in mind, what are some of the things that we do different on a rental property versus a flip?
Well, to begin with, we do not change anything that doesn't have to be changed. So we're not going to move around any walls. We're not going to put in any new countertops if we don't have to, or change out vanities, or put in new fixtures, or even a fridge and a stove.
When you say fixtures, we're talking about if the faucet works and it's in good shape,
keep it.
Doorknobs, keep it. A lot of times we do this too, because we're also flipping in addition to having rental properties. When we go to do the demo on a flip property that we just acquired, we'll take some of the light fixtures and stick them in storage, and that way we can use them on a rental just like this. What are some other things we keep in storage? Appliances, we do have.
Appliances, yeah, we keep appliances in storage all the time.
And that saves you a bunch of money, because I mean, like right now, the way it works is whenever we go and we spend money for an appliance package on a flip property, we're going to spend about $1,200. Whereas if we take the stove and the refrigerator and the dishwasher out of a house, that's just cash in our pocket, right?
Right. Even an AC unit, we might keep in storage for a rental.
Yeah, legitimately. If we have to change out one because it's undersized or something along those lines, we'll keep it over in one of the buildings that we have so that we can use it on a rental property. Mm-hmm. Now, you said some things that doesn't necessarily happen that we did have to do on this. So we are going to have to change out the vanity. And the reason why we had to change out the vanity was because
it was rotten.
It was rotten. It didn't work.
If it works, we keep it.
Yeah.
If it doesn't work, we have to replace it.
Same thing with the countertops. Remember, they were pushing down, so we have to replace those. But the whole thing is begin with the end in mind. How much cash flow are you going to get? Because every dollar you sink into this, if it's not paying for itself, that's another month, possibly another year, that you're going to go without pay. So let's do it like this. On this house, we're getting $200 a month. That's only $2,400 a year. If you spend $10,000 on the rehab on this, that's over 4 years before you get paid. That's a long time. That's something that you need to be thinking about whenever you're acquiring rental properties and doing the rehabs on them. All right, so we're done in here. What do you think?
I think it looks great. It's a great little rental.
It's going to be an awesome rental. I mean, like, I'm just so pleased with the way this thing turned out.
Me too.
Let's talk a little bit about the things that we did different on this house, since it's going to be a rental versus what we did on flip. So, like, one of the biggest things I can think of is our floor choice. What did we do?
We went with the laminate throughout the whole house instead of the carpet, because carpet holds stains, carpet gets dirty, carpet also holds a smell, and when you've got renters moving in and out, you don't want to have to swap out the carpet every single time you get a new renter in here. If you just put laminate or hardwood or something like that down all through the house, you're not going to have to replace the carpet so much, and in the long run it saves you a lot of money.
Putting the laminate through the entire house does cost us a little bit more now, but you're right, it's going to save us in the long run. And really and truly, we're not going to replace the carpet every single time somebody moves, but
No.
it has been about every 3 people we wind up having to change the carpet, unless we have something crazy happen, like a little cat get down there and start pulling on the strands and pulling it out. With this, we don't have to deal with that, and so it'll just be here and it'll go, and it lasts a lot longer. So it's a little bit more, but it'll last longer. Other thing is we put allure flooring in instead of like roll vinyl, so it's a
Right.
lot more expensive, but it's
Waterproof.
Oh man, it's waterproof. And so sheet vinyl will keep water from getting underneath it until it finds a place to go down. But what happens with sheet vinyl is it gets torn, because people are moving their furniture around, they're moving appliances in and out.
Appliances.
So like on a flip, that doesn't matter, because most of the time the homeowner's only moving in one time. With a rental, you know, we want our people to stay. We know somebody's probably going to move at some point in time. Putting this stuff in will allow us to be able to not have any tears in our floors. It's going to be waterproof. It costs a little bit more now, but over the long haul, we'll be able to do a lot better, because every dollar we put into the rental, it's that much longer before we make a profit. So, are there any real other things that we did different in here? We've got our normal paint colors. Like, we left old doors. A lot of times we change those out for 6 panels, but we didn't do that here.
Yeah.
We even didn't change out all the light fixtures, so we got that cool little light fixture for the kitchen area.
Yeah.
We didn't do stainless steel appliances. These are used, but they're in good shape. They work, they're white, they're clean. So this is going to be a fantastic rental. I'm excited about it. All right, so you finished up the rehab on your brand new rental, and you think all the work is done, but you're wrong. The work is just beginning. What you want to do next is you've got to find the right person that's going to take care of that beautiful house that you just made. So what we're going to be doing now is we're going to be going through our application process. And the whole point of your application process is to see if you can find a person that can do the 4 jobs of a tenant. So the first job is take care, maintain, and improve the property. Second job is pay on time. Now I want you to notice something. Taking care of the property comes before paying on time. This is something that a lot of landlords don't think about. They spend a lot of time with their application looking to see if somebody can pay for the house, but really and truly, if damage is done to your house, that costs a whole lot more than somebody that missed a payment. So as you're thinking about your rental properties and you're thinking about the end goal of your cash flow, remember, taking care of your property is something that needs to be weighted big time in your application process. Okay, so that was job number 2, job number 1 and job number 2. Job number 3 is be comfortable to work with. So you want to be able to find a tenant that you're going to be able to work with for a long time. Turnover kills landlords, specifically in single family homes. In apartments, you know, they've got procedures to take care of those things, but in houses, every time a house turns over is lost cash flow to you and more repairs that has to happen. So by finding somebody that is comfortable to work with, they're going to stay there for a long time. And the 4th job is be a good neighbor. You do not want to have somebody living in one of your rental houses that's feuding with the next door neighbor who owns the house. That is just a bad recipe, and what will happen is it will cause your tenant to move sooner. So let's recap on that. The 4 jobs of a tenant are take care, maintain, and improve the property. 2nd is pay on time. 3 is to be comfortable to work with, and 4 is to be a good neighbor. Now that you know the 4 jobs of a tenant, you've got to get out, get a good application procedure in place so that you can find that right tenant that's going to love your house and take care of it, live there for a long time, and pay on time. Now it's time to talk about
What's the deal?
On every episode, we're going to show you how we found it, how we funded it, and what our exit strategy was on each property. So, Ashley, on the odd one, how did we find that house?
We actually got a call from an advertisement on one of our tailgates.
So all of our tailgates have our logo on the back of them. They tell everybody we buy houses and mobile homes, and it's got our phone number on it. Somebody called off of it, and we were able to go out and meet with them. So next thing is, how did we fund this one?
We actually got it owner finance. Really great one.
We got great owner financing on this house. So the particular owner didn't need the cash right then. They just needed the headache off of their backs. So we were able to come in and get great terms on the house, which then led to our next thing, which is, what was our exit strategy?
We want to hold it as a rental.
We got great terms. Anytime you ever have a rental property, you have to think about what your mortgage payment's going to be, what are your taxes going to be, what's your insurance going to be. All that affects your cash flow. Because we got such great terms on our owner financing, it was a no-brainer to turn this one into a rental property.
Right.
So now we got an awesome house. We just found out we've finished our screening process. We've got great tenants that are going to go into the house. They're going to rent the house for $700 a month, and life is good. Let's get it done.